Welcome, Gemini, to the month of September 2018. I'm Megan of North Star Astrology, and this is another general transits reading for those of you born with your sun, moon, and or rising signs in the third zodiacal sign of Gemini, the twins. And to show you a brief glimpse of what I'm going to talk about at the end of your reading, I did a synopsis of the rundown of your positive and negative characteristics and the outline of the artwork, which I will be coloring in after your reading. And it's just an additional bonus presentation that I came up with. Okay, so the month starts out with on September 2nd with Mars in your 8th house in the sign of Capricorn, trining the moon in Taurus. So the month starts out with the moon in Taurus and Mars in Capricorn. So from your 12th house to your 8th house at 5 hours 58 minutes. And what this does for you, Gemini, is that you can emotionally and harmoniously connect or tap in to your subconscious mind as to how you might go about ascertaining or obtaining other people's resources. Say if you're dealing with the stock market or something and you somehow receive some sort of windfall. Then on the following day, September 3rd, the last quarter moon happens in your sign, in your first house of the self and body. So now, having the last quarter moon in your air sign of Gemini, in the first house, at 10 degrees Gemini 34 minutes, gives you the ability to, with this last quarter moon phase, take care of any last moment details within your framework of the self and the body. Not that should ever be an end to that, because we should all take care of our health and our body as long as we live, and continually do so. And then on September 4th, your ruling planet, Mercury, which has been transiting your third house, you naturally reside in the third house of the conscious mind and general communications. Your ruling planet sextiles the moon. So with your moon still in the last quarter phase of Gemini, sextiling your ruling planet of Mercury in your third house most definitely gives you a very positive vibe as far as how you emotionally communicate your intentions, as well as giving you the ability to communicate with siblings and or neighbors and through short distance travels in a positive, most positive way. Then on September 6th, Saturn stations direct as it's been retrograde. So get out of here, Saturn retrograde. And now it's direct in your 8th house of others' resources at 2 hours 40 minutes. And then on the very same day, your ruling planet Mercury leaves the sign of Leo and enters your 4th house of the home in Virgo. Okay? And that happens at 14 hours 30 minutes. Then on the following day, or actually approximately a couple of days later, September 8th, at 13 hours 32 minutes. Oh, I jumped ahead of myself. I apologize. On the same day that your ruling planet made a planetary ingress into Virgo, Mars in Capricorn opposes the moon in Cancer. So with this 180-degree opposition from the moon in your 2nd house of money and what you value and how you earn your money in Cancer, your neighboring sign, when the moon's in your neighboring sign of Cancer and opposes Mars in Capricorn, there might be a bit of a need for the point of awareness, as I like to say. You will need, because this will be highly antagonistic, but at the same time will give you the awareness that you will need in terms of how you emotionally attach your values versus the actions you take toward others' resources and or values. Then on September 9th, we have a new moon in Virgo. So when the sun and the moon come together, it's considered like a conjunction or 0 to 8 degree. However, this is just a natural conjunction between the sun and the moon, and it is exactly at 17 degrees Virgo in your 4th house of the home, meaning you may very well have a new start in a new home and may even change residences. Then on September 9th, Venus leaves Libra, having been transiting your 5th house of romance and creativity, and then enters your 6th house of health and work and service given in the sign of Scorpio. So now Venus goes into your 6th house of work and health and service given, giving you the love of what you do now on a day-to-day basis in your work. And that happens at 9 hours 26 minutes. Then on September 10th, at 15 hours and 14 minutes, Mars, still in Capricorn, trines the moon, still in its newness. So from your 4th to your 8th houses, Mars, the earth sign, Virgo, the other earth sign, mutable earth, cardinal earth, You now have the ability to ask with your ruling planet now direct. Since last month, the tail end of last month, you now have the ability to ask in new ways, harmoniously ask, and assert yourself toward asking perhaps for a loan for your home, as this is other people's resources toward the fourth house of the home. Then, on September 11th, Mars leaves your 8th house and enters the sign of Aquarius, now going into your 9th house of higher education, law, and the higher mind, or higher, this is the higher self or higher mind's house, just opposite of what your house represents. Your house represents the conscious, concrete mind versus the higher mind. So now Mars is in that house, which will give you more of an energy drive toward some form of philosophical undertakings. Then on September 11th as well, at 22 hours 59 minutes, Pluto, also retrograde, by the way, that's another retrograde planet, Pluto in Capricorn in your 8th house squares the moon once the moon goes into your 5th house of romance and creativity. So with the moon in Libra, a cardinal air sign, squaring a cardinal earth sign, this moon square Pluto gives you kind of a bit of a challenge toward your creativity or romantic partner, perhaps wishing you had some others' resources, or you might actually delve into the deep side of sensuality. Just be mindful of how this might be sort of irritating, an irritating time, but not terribly negative or anything, just something to be watchful for on September 11th. Then on September 12th, Jupiter, which has been transiting your 6th house of health and work in Scorpio, sextiles Pluto. So if I could just bring this over here where you can actually see it. There, okay. So Jupiter in your 6th, so from the 6th house to the 8th house, you now have a very positive, largely transformative. However, with Pluto retrograde, there's a tendency to maybe not take what needs to be taken seriously, perhaps. Maybe there's less intensity, and you maybe need more of that. However, it's in its naturally residing house of Scorpio. Here, look at how interesting this is. Look at this juxtaposition here. Jupiter in Scorpio, Pluto, which rules Scorpio, in Capricorn, however, but also in Scorpio's naturally residing house. Interesting how that pans out. So you will largely, positively, perhaps somewhat transform something regarding others' values. In other words, value others, perhaps in the workplace, as well as your own health or state of being with your health. Then on September 14th at 8:55, the sun sextiles the moon. Still, the moon is in Virgo, in your 4th house of the home, and now sextiles the moon in Scorpio. So the sextile is 2 signs away, or in this case, earth to water, and the watery moon of Scorpio now positively sextiles the sun, giving you maybe a pleasant respite from work and the ability to ask for time off. Then on September 16th, when the moon goes into your 7th house of Sagittarius, your opposite sun sign, in your 7th house of others, business associates, and relationships, it then squares the sun, so from the 7th to the 4th houses, and with this square, you may want to be mindful of others in the home environment, emotionally be mindful of others in the home environment. In other words, not running roughshod over anybody. Then on September 16th as well, the first quarter moon happens. Still in your 7th house at 24 degrees Sagittarius 2 minutes. New, stemming from the new moon, first things first, in other words, something new and or steps taken to possibly, maybe you'll gain a new business associate or something starting out. Then on September 19th at 17 hours 11 minutes, the sun trines the moon. Once the moon posits itself in the 8th house, and so now here from earth to earth, the moon trining the sun in your 4th house. This trine, once again, there's a lot of emphasis to others' values and or resources. So yet another harmonious aspect to your 8th house with your emotions versus your soul nature concerning your home again. Home environment. Then on September 21st at 17 hours and 14 minutes, Jupiter squares the moon. Once the moon goes into your 9th house now in Aquarius. So now you have this 3 houses away here. Jupiter largely squares your emotions from the 6th to the 9th houses, the 6th house of work to the 9th house of long distance travel. Maybe you'll be asked to commute further away or go on some kind of work furlough or something like that, some sort of assignment that you're not really wanting to do. However, it's a challenge. It's meant to be for some sort of lesson, and you'll take it because you know you want or need the money. Then on September 22nd, your ruling planet Mercury leaves Virgo and enters your 5th house of romance and creativity. So now you'll be speaking, communicating, and thinking more along the lines of what you would like to be doing creatively as well as romantically. And you'll be speaking about romantic things, or even speaking with children, because this is also the house of children. You'll be speaking with children and maybe communicating more with them and coming to their level. Then, on the following day, September 23rd, the sun leaves Virgo and enters Libra. Once again, the 5th house. So that happens at 1 hour and 55 minutes into the day. And the sun now will be gearing toward fall. Nearing like and this will give you more balance, Gemini. So now you won't feel as scattered if you somehow felt scattered. Then on the following day after that, even on September 24th at 5 hours 27 minutes, Jupiter trines the moon. When the moon goes into your 10th house of career and public standing, and largely trines the moon. So from the Jupiter in your 6th house of work and health to the harmonious trine to the moon in Pisces, you now have a very harmonious connection between work and whether or not you want to make your work your career. And you'll feel very pleasant about it. I don't know how to explain it, but I'm feeling a good vibe with that. Then on September 25th, the full moon occurs in your 11th house at 1 degrees Aries, 60 minutes. And whatever you had your wishes and goals set out for, you may very well discover the drive, as Mars now is over here in Aquarius, giving you, with the full moon in Aries, that wow factor of what it was that you had wished for, and it will possibly manifest or come to fruition with this full moon. Then on September 26th at 10 hours 29 minutes, Pluto, still in your 8th house over here in Capricorn, squares that full moon. So from the 8th to the 11th houses. Now, once again, you may feel like something's possibly blocking you. Maybe you had asked for resources or help from your friends, financial resources, and they just kind of are dragging their heels and not coming through for you. Then, the final day of September 28th at 22 hours 37 minutes, Jupiter opposes the moon. Once the moon goes into your 12th house of dreams and the subconscious. So with this planet of Jupiter transiting your 6th house and opposing the 12th house, there is this emotional need to tap within something to be aware of in terms of what it is or how it is that you serve others or come to serve others. And with that, Gemini, I want to get right to the project I wanted to share with you, and that is that your quality is mutable, your element is air, your ruling planet, as I mentioned, is Mercury, your key phrase is I think, and where is it that I had written the anatomy? Oh boy. Well, the upper arms and the shoulders, I guess I didn't mention it on here, darn it. Okay, your glyph is the Roman numeral 2. You rule the third house. Your opposite sign is Sagittarius. Your positive characteristics and or attributes are that you are dual, congenial, curious, adaptable, expressive, quick-witted, literary, imaginative, is that it? Inventive, dexterous, clever. And these are the negative characteristics and or traits to leave behind. You have a tendency to be changeable, ungrateful, scatterbrained, restless, scheming, lacking in concentration, and lacking in follow-through. So, see how this twin is saying, hey, look, come and follow up on your initial plans. And here is my coloring pencils that I wanted to show you what I'm about to do. It's pretty neat. I'm wanting to show you just what it is that I thought was really interesting. Let's see. I'm going to use, what is that? I think that says turquoise, I guess. Anyway, I'm going to color in. This was my idea to be a little creative. And this symbolizes you. You're the twins. Oh, wait a minute here. Let's see. Let's give you some skin tone here. Should I give you a tan? Because it is summertime, right? Well, actually, this would be considered. We're nearing, I guess, Indian summer, or is that in October? I think it's October. Yeah. I will want to get a little more detailed with this. This is just something I thought would be so sweet to show you or share with you your your stats, or I mean your your information along with the artwork. It's something I put together for you. This is not for sale, though. This is NFS. This is just for the purposes of the viewers. I forgot what I was going to say. I have Jupiter in Gemini, and I've been known to be dexterous, or actually that's known as ambidextrous. I can actually somewhat, I would probably need a lot more practice, but I actually can write with my left hand sometimes, and pretty legibly at that. But oftentimes, like, I throw a frisbee. Just recently I was throwing my frisbee for my dog. I throw a frisbee with both left and right hands. And I think left-handed people are really cool, you know what I mean? There's a uniqueness or genius about them. And I don't know how many Geminis out there might be left-handed. Comment down below to let me know if you are. But the majority of left-handed people are the other air sign of Aquarius, generally. Because one of my oldest cousins is an Aquarian, and they are left-handed, or he is left-handed, excuse me. My best friend was a Gemini. I've known a few Geminis. Not that many Geminis, though. I've known more Librans. That's the other air sign. I tend to attract more Libran people, as I've got so many planets in the 7th house of where Libra naturally resides. Isn't that uncanny? Anyway, I just want to see how much time do I have? Ooh, okay, I am running out of time. I don't want to go over too far, as I want to get this out to you. So with that, I'm glad I got a chance to share this with you. See? Gemini the twins. And I want to express my gratitude to all of my subscribers, and I want to let you know that you're special and you're unique, and you are really super cool, actually. So feel free to give me a thumbs up. Again, comment down below what you thought of my new project or bonus artwork. And feel free to subscribe. And until we see each other in October, have a really beautiful September. Bye.